Today is a massive day if you're as excited for Dragons Dogma 2 as we are. Not only do we have a whole new Arisen exclusive class vocation revealed with loads of gameplay showing it off in a whole new trailer that looks absolutely badass, but also details on exactly how you unlock new vocations, powerful skills, and some new characters that you get them from. That's not even all, because there's new official information on an in-game disease-like condition that infects your pawns and sounds like a potentially insane mechanic with massive implications to our pawns when they're hired online through the pawn hiring system. Well, because I can't wait to talk about it, let's go over the new vocation first, called the Warfarer. Previously, myself and 26 have speculated on the channel whether we would be getting more vocations in the game after the Trickster's reveal and the official t-shirt that had the 9 vocations icons on it. You see, with us having gone through the official Capcom process of merchandise with our Monster Hunter plushies and cable bites, we know it's a long and thorough process, which led me to think that the t-shirt was likely an indication that those were all of the vocations in the game. Well, I was wrong, and 26 was actually right, because he was saying from the start that there must be more in the game because of how much bigger it is than the original. So the t-shirt lied to us, I was wrong, and there are more vocations, or at least one more that we know of. This is a brand newly revealed class that is exclusive to the Arisen, which is our player character. The insane thing about this class is that it doesn't follow suit with the usual Dragons Dogma vocation or color system, and doesn't even have its own identity. Instead, it's kind of like a multi-classing vocation that can use every other weapon and skills from other vocations. The gameplay looks pretty insane, with the character magically summoning different weapons to execute skills and attacks of those other vocations. Personally, I'm thinking this looks like it will be so much fun and kind of removes the FOMO that you get when you lean into and pick one vocation to play and you're always wondering, would it have been more fun if I played something else? This way you get to try all of them out. However, this power does come with a drawback. You see, the Wayfarer has lower base stats overall than other classes, making it weaker in terms of its stats. So instead, you must utilize the situational strengths of the different vocation weapon types to bring yourself up to par with those other vocations. This does make us think about the ongoing question regarding vocation stat growth. In the first game, you gained stats depending on what vocation you were playing when you hit a level up. This meant switching vocations was important for min-maxing your stats, and also meant you weren't always playing the class that maybe you wanted to. The drawback of the Warfarer would mean that if this old stat system was present, you could just level up on something else and then swap to it, nullifying the reduced stats that the class comes with. But because the Warfarer is meant to have lower stats in order to balance it, we're thinking that this could hopefully mean that when you move and switch between vocations, it balances your stats to that new vocation, instead of the old system where you were locked in based on what you leveled up as. And overall, if this is the case, it would mean vocation switching is way more easy and accessible, opening up options to switch from a mage to a fighter without having a load of dead stats. Now, it isn't known if you can switch between every weapon type on this vocation, and thanks to the guys over in the Dragons Dogma Central Discord, which will be linked down below, we can see some of the character art and their theory, which shows 4 different player characters of this new class, and each one of them is only holding 3 weapons. So this does kind of suggest that maybe you can only switch and equip between 3 different weapons at a time. We also don't know if you will get 4 skills in total or 4 skills per weapon, so until we learn more about this class, it has the potential to be insane if it does get 4 skills per weapon as it swaps. This additional vocation also has its own color, further bringing into question the old color-coded method of the vocations, and leads me to believe that there is possibly a bunch more vocations to fill in all of the missing colors that we currently have. On top of this, we know from the official website some extra details on how you unlock these vocations, as well as more powerful skills, which will be done through Vocation Meisters. It says in your travels, you will encounter Vocation Meisters who have mastered their chosen vocation to the fullest. By deepening your relationship with them and gaining their approval, you will then gain access to that vocation, or they may grant you a special tome that teaches skills of the highest order called the Meisters Teachings. We know 3 of these Meisters already, Finally, with Lennart being a fighter meister, a swordsman who has long served the fortress village of Melv. Although he is retired, he's meant to be an exceptional swordsman and have great leadership skills. Then there's Sigurd, a really cool sounding character who is the mystic spearhand meister. He hunts dragons for his own personal reasons, and he's meant to be a quiet man, and he constantly trains to improve his fighting style and is obsessed with exterminating all of dragonkind and wanders the world in pursuit of these dragons. And then finally, for these new characters, we have Luz, the Vermundian court oracle and trickster meister. She's currently set to be in hiding for fear of her life after speaking out against the false Arisen who's taking the throne. So, this confirms you will need to find and befriend these meisters in order to learn their vocations, and they're likely spread around the map, with the vocations seemingly being symbolic to the different regions in the game. And next we have some really cool information on an in-game disease, but with a twist. It's the Dragon's Plague. This is a contagious disease-like condition that will infect your pawns as they travel between worlds. This leads me to believe that this could be gained when someone hires your pawn online or you hire theirs. The interesting thing about this condition is that it doesn't weaken your pawn, but instead powers them up and gives them red glowing eyes. Once a pawn is infected, they start to display remarkable performance and they become bolder in their speech and behavior. The website says, according to folklore, when the symptoms of the Dragon Plague reach a terminal stage, it will result in devastating calamity, but the veracity of these claims is unclear. So perhaps the pawns will turn into a dragon or some kind of monster, we just don't know yet, but it is called Dragon's Plague. It also makes me wonder, do we potentially lose our pawns if this happens? Put your theories on this down in the comments below and tell me, what do you think of the new Vocation the Warfarer? To be honest, it has me torn because I was definitely going to go Mystic Spearhand, but being able to switch between every weapon sounds pretty insane.